Yes, I'll marry you, my dear, and here's the reason why. So I can push you out of bed if Oliver starts to cry. And if we hear a knocking and it's dark and CJ's prowling at the gate, I hand you the torch to see and you investigate. Yes, I'll marry you, my dear, you may not apprehend. But when the live sports streaming goes, it's you that knows how to mend. You have to face the neighbour should your brother handcuff him. And apologise as it was Ross being drunk so the police don't try to sack him. Yes, I'll marry you, my dear, you're in my thoughts each working day. And a text or call from you can light up my pharmacy. Your culinary delights, which you serve by candlelights. As I do like chipolatas, you can serve it every night. I think back when we started going out in all those pubs and clubs, and love you more each day, but say I still look the best in scrubs. And yes, I'll marry you too, dear, and hope you keep us both on track. I'm not so handy with a drill and can't put up the curtain track. I do see great advantages, but none of them for you. And before you see the light, I'll say I do. I do, I do.
We met on the 25th of July 2015 in Vodka Revolution in Edinburgh. I was on a friend's hen night dressed as a cheerleader, and Euan was out with Craig, the best man, for a normal Saturday night boys drinking session. I noticed Craig, who I knew through a friend, and after having consumed one too many shots, I finally had the courage to say aye and ask who his rather attractive friend was. Euan says he thought I was gorgeous from the very first time that we met, and he claims this had nothing to do with the cheerleader outfit or the alcohol. Euan and I hit it off in our drunken states and planned our first date the very next week. We went for drinks and a great chat where we quickly realised we got on so well that we couldn't wait to plan our second date. We decided to book our first holiday together just in the October, and on return from that holiday, we decided to move in together. In August 2017, we were delighted to find out we were having our baby boy, Oliver, who arrived as an early surprise the following March 2018. We love spending time together. However, since having Oliver, he has absolutely become the centre of both of our worlds, and we love doing everything together as a family. Watching Oliver grow into an adorable, funny little boy is one of our very favourite things. Euan is the other half of me. I can't imagine my life without him. He's the best daddy to our amazing little Oliver. I'm excited for what our future holds. I'd never thought of marriage before meeting Laura. I knew she was the one for me. Laura's warmth and motherly love she shows towards Oliver makes me smile every single day. I, Euan,
I, Euan,
accept you, Laura,
accept you, Laura,
in marriage.
in marriage.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I join my life with yours today without hesitation,
join my life with yours today without hesitation,
and with an open and trusting heart.
and with an open and trusting heart.
I, Laura,
I, Laura,
accept you, Euan,
accept you, Euan,
in marriage.
in marriage.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I join my life with yours today without hesitation,
I join my life with yours today without hesitation,
and with an open and trusting heart.
and with an open and trusting heart.
Laura and Euan, by virtue of these declarations, made in my presence and in the presence of both your witnesses and your guests, I have tremendous pleasure in declaring you married and pronouncing you husband and wife. Congratulations, you may kiss the bride.
extremely happy to be here today with family and friends to celebrate the wedding of our beautiful daughter Laura to Euan, Lynn and Ian's son, who, may I say, is looking very handsome in his kilt today. As parents, you will know, we love our kids with all our hearts, and it's hard to watch them grow up. We are filled with pride with everything they do. I remember when Laura was in primary 2. She won the Young Writer of the Year competition. We were so proud of her achievement. She was just so little. Laura has always been talented in many ways and always does well with whatever she takes on. Laura has always been a lovely daughter, thoughtful, kind and caring, always thinking of others. I have lots of great memories of Laura growing up and times we spent together. Seeing her here today, looking so amazing and happy with Euan, I will treasure forever. Laura had a happy childhood. When she was 2, she loved running around from her grand's house to ours, round the corner, in her granny's red stiletto heels, with her dinky bottle of juice swinging from her mouth. She was really so cute. When she was older, Laura loved being with her friends and running around on her bike. I have these memories of her coming in the garden gate, on the bike, and trying to shut the gate at the same time. Somehow, she always managed to fall in the rose garden. Every single time. Oh my, the joys of growing up. Lastly, Glenn and I have great pleasure in welcoming Euan into our family as our son-in-law and Laura's husband. Euan is a lovely guy. Our Laura has chosen well. They both make a great team and are amazing parents to our gorgeous grandson Oliver. We wish them both a wonderful married life together with lots of adventures along the way. Health, wealth and happiness always and forever. Love you to the moon and back. Please raise your glasses to the bride and groom, the new Mr. and Mrs. Cunningham.
Many thanks to Susan for her kind words. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my wife and I, our thanks goes to each and every one of you for being here today to celebrate this wonderful day with us. We really appreciate you coming from far and wide. It really wouldn't be the same without you all. It'd be a lot cheaper. Special thanks goes to Craig and Lindsay, who have come all the way from the US.
Where are they? There they are.
Laura and I were delighted to hear that Oliver will have a new cousin soon, so congratulations. Special thanks to the Routledges, the Slades, and a special thanks to my aunt and Tracy, who's made a big effort to join us today after our recent op. And thankfully, the son has decided to join us today as well. We'd like to express our thanks to everyone for their best wishes and our very generous gifts. We're very grateful, thank you. Our thanks also goes to everyone who helped us organise the wedding. I won't name individuals, but we're truly grateful. Events like this don't just happen. We've been planning this day for many months, and when I say we, I actually mean Laura. So, as you all know, I'm pretty much a chocolate teapot when it comes to organising things, so thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
For all your hard work, and now you can relax and enjoy the big day. The next thanks goes to both sets of parents. Firstly, Susan and Glenn. Since the first time we've met, you've both welcomed me into the family and you've made me feel comfortable. It's a pity the dogs have taken a wee bit longer to get used to me, but thank you. Thank you for bringing up such a beautiful, kind and caring daughter, and I promise to look after her and do my best to make her happy into the future, even if it does involve buying a new house to get her a molten brown bath. To my mum and dad, words cannot describe how grateful I am for everything you've done for me over the years. From policing the riots between my brother Ross and I in our teens, into the eviction notice into the garage, thanks to Ali Barclay's, whatever it is, Ali Barclay's gambling and the late night partying. But yeah, on a serious note, I'm extremely proud of you both. Thank you. You're the best grandparents Oliver could ever ask for. On to the bridesmaids, you both look amazing today. Don and Vary have both been a great support to Laura over the years, and especially in the lead up to the wedding. Thank you for all you've done. And I hear the hen do was a great success. Eh? Oh, the two hen do's, sorry. Also, a huge thanks goes to Lois. Where is she?
She's helping me all
Oh, she's outside. Aye. She's been the best flower girl and babysitter we could have asked for. And the cutest page boys, Murray and Oliver. Now, on to the best men. Sigh. Craig, aka CJ, and Ian, aka Tatty or Potato. We've been good friends since primary school, and it remains to be seen whether we'll still be friends after their speeches. Please bear in mind that neither of these boys lets the truth get in the way of a good story. So much so, in fact, that Ian's been recently getting psychological help regarding his pathological lying. So please do take anything he says with a large pinch of salt. As for CJ, well, CJ enjoys something for free. At one point in our teenage years, my dad thought he had adopted another son. CJ moved in with us every weekend, enjoying our hospitality, including my dad's Cronenberg 1664. As you can imagine, this didn't go down very well. As time moved on, I shared a flat with CJ, and latterly with Ian, before Amber came on the scene and turned our flat into a shag pad. Sorry. But on a serious note, these boys always had my back. Unless there was a round to be bought, in that case I couldn't find CJ. I'm extremely proud to call you my best men. Thank you for a brilliant stag do in Madrid. Memories and nightmares that'll stay with me for a lifetime. Our ushers, Ross, David and Ali, thank you for their big day run, our big day run smoothly. Sorry. Now on to the most important of the day, most important person of the day, the new Mrs. Cunningham. Welcome to the clan. I think everyone will agree you look absolutely stunning today. Whilst I can't promise you my dad or my Uncle George's jokes will get any better, one thing I can promise you is that you've made me the happiest man alive. Not only today, but for giving me the most handsome, giggly and adorable son, apart from today, I could ever ask for. From the moment I met you, I knew the vodka wasn't watered down. Your exuberant cheerleading skills were just too impressive. Luckily, in the past, my cousin Craig had taught me some Facebook stalking skills, which held me very good stead to muster up the courage to contact you again and ask for a date. To which
By the time I got home that night.
Yes. To my very surprise, you duly accepted, and years later, here we are. Thank you for all you do for Oliver and I can't wait to start our married life together. Please raise a glass to the beautiful new Mrs. Cunningham. Mrs. Cunningham.
Firstly, Laura, I just want to say, you look as echo what Euan said, you look absolutely stunning today. And bridesmaids look beautiful as well. In fact, this is by far the best wedding I've ever attended. An amazing venue, fantastic ceremony, an incredible choice in best men. Now, I've known Euan since before primary school, when we became neighbours. Given the nickname Elmo by his brother, after the Saint Elmo, because of his angelic personality. I expected more of a reaction to that, but anyone that can't tell from that reaction, that's not the case. And I'm here to tell you why, or warn you, especially Laura's side of the family, what he was really like growing up. His quiet nature at primary school, as part of our Power Rangers gang, would soon make way for a more boisterous side. By the start of high school, he was a fully fledged, improvised explosive expert. A bomb maker to the layman's out there. Stealing the raw materials from Ian's garage. Aerosol cans, gas canisters, anything flammable whatsoever. Myself, CJ, Ali, and Kim Jong-un here would test our WMDs down the beach or up the woods. Thankfully, he didn't pursue this passion growing up. And as myself and CJ found out, sharing a room with him on our stag do in Madrid, the only explosive things these days come from his backside. We'll just put that down to the tapas and mojitos. Flip my page here. Apart from that, most of our time outside school was preoccupied by playing Pro Evolution Soccer on the computer or playing long bangers down the local football park until the sun went down. Euan would sometimes make his own games up, however. One such game involved going down to the beach, finding a rock or boulder, throwing it as high as we could in the air, then running for cover. The game was, get your skull crushed and die, you lose. Survive being maimed and you win. Simple yet exciting. I think it was around this time I realised you're going to make an excellent care assistant for the NHS. I'm going to stop talking about his adolescence, as Ross may have to arrest him on multiple charges if I continue. I spent 2 years living with Euan in his flat at Loch End. A normal day for me would find darts on the TV and Euan training with his samurai sword in the living room. His ninja skills weren't very good, however, as one day, wielding his sword, he smashed the front window. Now, I want to talk about a more serious side of Euan, his romantic side. Many years ago, before he met Laura, he gave me some of the best relationship advice I've ever heard, and it stuck to me till this day. He said, Ian, I'm going to give you some advice. If you have sex with anything enough times, you'll develop strong feelings for it. That touched my heart. Now, the only reason I mention this is because he's had that coffee machine for a hell of a long time. And I know how much he loves it. So Laura, watch out for that one. Now, I think I can speak for myself, Euan, Ali, and CJ when I say we used to think the best thing to come from West Lothian was the resurrection raves at Room at the Top in Bathgate. After meeting Laura, however, I know that's not true. Euan, I can't think of anything good to say about you, so I think I'll leave that to CJ. No, that's not true. Euan is my oldest friend, and I'm lucky to have him. I've been lucky to have you as a friend all my life. When I think of Euan, I think of honesty, kindness, and loyalty. Things I actually see an abundance in you as well, Laura, which is perhaps why you're both here today.
As you all have gathered by now, my name is Craig, or more commonly known by CJ. And yes, I have ran along a beach wearing red, but unlike Baywatch, I don't need the slow motion effects. Before I continue, I can only echo Ian's comments that Laura looks beautiful today, and thank you to the bridesmaids as well for keeping her relatively calm. And I suppose Euan has scrubbed up not too bad himself, dressed like a Scotsman with the groomed appearance of a Turkish kebab shop owner. Now, after the bomb-making days, our interests were simple: football, Mario Kart, GoldenEye, takeaways, beer, vodka, a decent quality sound system to listen to happy hardcore on. something that Euan's mum and dad went mental about more often than not. Now, before Euan shared a flat with Elmo, I had the pleasure of lodging with him at Logan Lee Loan for a year. The staple diet was Papa John's pizzas and McDonald's cheeseburgers stored in the fruit bowl. It was during this time Elmo's first love came into his life, his coffee machine. It's all about bean to cup and the impression it leaves on the ladies. He says, I've lost count the amount of times I've heard that patter from him. Now, we've had many laughs living together, from Routledge using the flat as a base to fuel his Fantasy Palace addiction. To Ali Barclay turning up at 1 a.m, claiming he'd been working with horses, but smelt like he'd been sleeping with them. But one thing that was sure, the flat was always clean and tidy. Now, sharing a flat with Elmo usually resulted in a competition on who could make the biggest racket after a night out. I know you'll say me, Laura, but unfortunately for you, it's definitely him. Now, last week, Elmo asked me and Euan not to discuss a number of subjects because he was under the illusion that it would give his in-laws the wrong impression. Euan touched on a few things, but in truth, we've not examined the full list yet. So, Tatty, you be so kind. Oh, is it still going? So, there's Hackett's Backgate, there's Mr. Sheen, Crazy GI, the Elms DVDs, Annihilation, Resurrection, Replica Watches, The Dove from Above, Krakow 2011, Cologne 2012, Scottish Cup 2012, Amsterdam 2013, Prague 2014, Prague 2017. God, what have you been doing in Prague? Hearts Hospitality is Stag Do, where, to be honest, me and Euan had doubts that he would follow through with it, but as Euan hinted earlier, he literally did follow through. Now, I could stand here and go on further, but I'll leave it there, because I can feel a pair of eyes burning a hole through me. Now, throughout the years of growing up together, we had loads of nights out in Edinburgh. It mainly ended with Tatty climbing statues and putting traffic cones on their heads. But one of our usual haunts was the classy establishment of Moon nightclub. And on the rare occasion, if you ever got lucky, you went to the back bar, normally to find Craig Barclay lying in wait to cut your grass. But it was through these nights out, Elmo found someone special to him. It was an old high school classmate in CC Bloom's, who quickly explained to Elmo that he wasn't gay, but bisexual. This made Elmo quickly add him to Facebook, possibly questioning his own sexuality at the time. Who knows, but looking back now, it certainly influenced him into buying that fancy coffee machine. Then finally, after many nights out, Euan finally clamped eyes on Laura dressed as a cheerleader in Vodka Rev. Now, the humanist ruined my speech, but he told you some things, but he didn't really tell you the full truth. So there was drinks flying about. That was because there was a couple of clowns rolling about on the floor having a fight. And then when we got outside, it was basically, they were trying to decide on whether to go for a drink or a late night BSE burger, as Euan likes to call them. But then I turned round to find Euan and Laura in their first embrace. Or to be more accurate, they're chewing the face off each other. But such was Euan's excitement that after Laura disappeared, he realised he had forgotten to ask for her number. What an absolute nightmare. But in the world of social media, and thankfully for learning from Craig Barclay and his stalking skills, Euan tracked her down and they went on their first date soon after, and the rest, as I say, is history. Which brings us to today. Euan, it's about time that you got a few home truths to you. And although you say and do a few daft things at times, the one thing I know about you is your love of your family and friends. When you phoned me that day about Oliver's arrival 5 weeks early and how Laura was in hospital that day, my heart sank listening to how worried and helpless you felt at that time. I could sense you were wishing it was you, but like all Cunninghams, he is a fighter, and look at him now. he's laughing at you. Laura, don't let these tales put you off him. You've got a good man there. He does need a kick up the backside more often than not, but he will do anything for you and your beautiful wee boy Oliver. On behalf of myself and Ian, it has been a privilege for us to be your best men for the day, and I ask everyone to please be upstanding one more time to join me in raising a glass to the happy couple. So, to the new Mr. and Mrs. Cunningham, I give you the riding whip.
I've been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. I've been sleeping in my bed. So show me family, all the blood that I will bleed. I don't know where I belong. I don't know where I went wrong, but I can write a song. I belong with you, you belong with me, my sweetheart. I belong with you, you belong with me.